I will even die with you.
Yeah.
So here Peter is reneging on all that he had told Jesus. Simply because it looked like the story was over. And my brothers and my sisters, Jesus may have said it was finished, but the story was not over. All the disciples forsook him because they thought that the story was over. The crowd that said Hosanna to the highest, one day and 4 days later they forsook Jesus. Why? Because they thought that the story was over. The same ones who said Hosanna to the highest turned around and said, crucify him. Give us Barabbas, simply because they thought the story was over. The lady that had an issue of blood for 12 long years, she had spent all that she had from doctor to doctor to doctor. Instead of getting better, the Bible said that she got worse. But she heard that Jesus was coming through town, and she said, if I can just press, if I can just touch the hem that's wrapped around the hem, she said, I know that my body would be made whole. Jesus turned around and said, somebody touch me. And he said, thy faith has made thee whole, woman. And so here it is. Where was this lady with the issue of blood? She was nowhere to be found. Why? It's simply because she thought the story was over.
Say it.
As I look around the scene, I look for ones to be with Jesus. Look for ones who say, go ahead on, Jesus, it's going to be all right. Said that the women, they followed, but they didn't say that they was weeping. They was hurting too bad to encourage Jesus. They were crying, they were weeping, they were wailing. Why? Because they thought that the story was over. And there were others that were around. They began to self-isolate themselves. They self-isolated themselves. Why? Because they didn't want what Jesus had. They didn't want no part of what Jesus was getting ready to go through. They didn't want his death. And people, they would self-isolate themselves from you when you're on a mission for God and they don't know.
Yes, sir.
When they began to get lied on, when they began to get talked about for Jesus, they would begin to self-isolate themselves, saying, I'm not going back to that church no more.
Say it.
Here it is. Secondly, the disciples self-quarantined themselves. Because after Jesus had risen from the grave, they found them in the upper room and they was locked up with all the doors locked, with all the windows pulled down, self-quarantining themselves. Why? Because they didn't want to go down this road that Jesus was going down.
Yes, sir.
I kept on looking at the text. I can see 2020 today in the text. Pilate said, give me some water. Let me wash my hand for 20 seconds. He said, I don't want to be guilty for killing an innocent man. Pilate, he was washing his hands.
Yeah.
Trying to get the stain of Jesus' death off his hand. So I can see as they marched Jesus up Calvary's hill, as they marched him up this hill of skulls,
Yes, sir.
ones began to social distance themselves. Even though they walked with Jesus, they walked from afar. Why? Because the Bible said there was one disciple that walked with Jesus. He went all the way, but he walked from a distance. Theologians said it was John Mark, but even though he walked with Jesus, he walked from a distance. Be careful how far you get from Jesus.
All right.
And when Jesus made it up to the top of the hill, they hung him on Calvary's cross. They hung him in the middle between two thieves. Jesus, he was there, hanging there from the third to the next hour.
Yes, sir.
I can see if the curfew comes into play now.
All right.
And the Sabbath was about to render. The Sabbath was about to come to fruition.
Yes.
It was almost 6 o'clock in the evening, and before it got dark, and Jesus was hanging out there. He had suffered. All of this time, they had pulled the hair out of his beard. They had whipped him. They had spit on him. They had called him everything but a child of God. And ones came up there and told Jesus, if you be the Son of God, come on down and save yourself. But not only save yourself, but save us. But Jesus stayed right there on Calvary's cross. And as the curfew began to come into play, I can see Jesus, if he honored the curfew, he honored manslaughter, but he also honored his mother. Why? Because his mother was standing there near the cross. He said, Mother, behold thy son. Son, behold thy mother. As Jesus wheeled his mother into the hands of John. And before it got dark, and John took Mary home and took her into the home. Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea, they asked for the body of Jesus to give him a decent burial. Here it is, the Son of God. They didn't even want to give him a decent burial. Jesus, here it is now. He had talked to his mother. He had talked to the disciples. So he had talked to the thief and said, this day I will remember you in paradise. But here it is now. He turns and talks to the Father. And I just want to encourage somebody here today, whenever you're going through a pandemic, whenever you're going through an epidemic, you need to turn and talk to your Father.
Yes, sir.
I can hear Jesus. Jesus said, I thirst. They took a hyssop plant and they dipped it down in water and vinegar. They lifted it up and they gave it to Jesus.
Yes, sir.
This hyssop plant, it was used in the days of the Israelites when the death angel had came by and the death angel was getting ready to kill the firstborn of everyone. And they used this hyssop plant and they would mop it on the top of their door that when the death angel came and seen the blood of the sacrifice, it had to keep on going. This plant of hyssop, it represented purification.
All right now.
And it's not a coincidence that they used this same plant, this same hyssop, to dip the vinegar, to dip the wine down off in it, and mop it in there and give it to Jesus. So here they are. The Bible said that after Jesus received it, Jesus said, it is finished.
Yes, sir.
I can see Jesus that he was getting ready to give up the ghost. He said, into thy hand, Father, I commend my spirit.
Yes, sir.
And whatever you're going through today, you need to put it in your Father's hand. If you're sick today, put it in the Father's hand. If you're worried today, put it in the Father's hand. If you don't know which way to turn, just put it in the Father's hand.
Yes, sir.
I can see Jesus in my mind's eyes. He hung out on Calvary's cross as he was talking to the Father. He said, Father, I commend my spirit. I put it all in your hand. It done got too big for me, Lord. He said, you got the sun, moon, and the stars in your hand. He said, you got mother and fathers in your hand. He got the sisters and the brothers. Father, you got them all in your hand. You got the little bitty babies in your hand. And Father, since you got all of that in your hand, I commend my spirit into your hand.
Yes, sir.
Somebody know that Jesus, he dropped his head down in the locks of his shoulder. The Bible said it got dark out there. Why? Because the Father could not stand to see his son suffering. The Father could not stand to see his son separated. The Father could not stand to see his son with sin on his shoulder, with sin on his back. He could not stand to see his son stretched high and stretched wide. It was not Jesus' sin that he carried on the cross, but it was your sin and mine. Psalm said that they hung him high and they stretched him wide. He dropped his head for you and me. He died. That's love, y'all. And that's all I come today to tell you about the love of Jesus. But the song goes on to say, and that's not how the story ends. But 3 days later, Jesus, he rose again. That's love. Jesus, he got up that Sunday morning with all power in his hand. The old preacher, they used to tell us about how the conversation went with the grave and death. And death came to the grave one day and said, I done killed Jesus. He said, I done took care of him, but I want to know, can you hold Jesus? The grave said, well, that ain't no problem. My record is 100 out of 100. Everybody that come here to the grave, I hold him. He said, well, let me hear your resume. He said, well, I'm glad you asked. He said, I got Abraham. He said, I got Isaac. He said, I got Jacob. I got Joshua. I got Samuel. I got Hosea. I got Zephaniah. I got all of these prophets right here in the grave. He said, well, that sounds good. Death said, that sounds good. But he asked grave. He said, I want to ask you one question. Can you hold Jesus? He said, yeah, I got Jesus right here in the palm of my hand. He said, you sure you got it? He said, yeah, I got it. He said, well, I'm going to get ready to go for a little while. And he came back that Saturday morning. He said, Greg, do you still have Jesus? The Greg said, I got it right here in my hand. He came back Saturday night. He said, Greg, do you still have Jesus? He said, I got Jesus right here up under my hand. But he came back early that morning. He said, Greg, do you still have Jesus? He said, well, just wait a minute. Let me explain to you. Let me tell you just what happened. He said, it was after midnight. There was a shaking and a quake. And the last thing I heard, he said, the story is not over. He said, it may look like it's finished, but the story is not over. He said, the last thing I heard Jesus say, he said that Sunday morning, he said, I got all power in my hand. He